What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I will be converting my fuel lines in the EK to AN lines, but before we do that, our friend Zach, who also rents the shop with us, has this little Kia here. This is, I want to say it was his first car, then he upgraded and he held on to it. So what he's doing is fixing all the little things that were bad in the car. I know the AC compressor needed to be changed, needed new rotors, needed new valve cover gasket, stuff like that. So he's putting all those things together in order to sell it. And he asked me if I could take care of the AC because I have my friend Alex right down the street. I'm gonna go down there, recharge the AC, bring it back so he can get this out of here and officially sell it. So Caleb's over here editing, we're doing the fuel lines, and we're taking care of the Kia today. Let's get on the road, let's get over to Alex's and knock this out real quick so we can get back and work on the car that I want to work on. All right, let's go ahead and get this little thing ready to go. Auto tragic, it is what it is. Make sure the AC is off so that clutch doesn't burn up. We'll get it on the road. Man, this thing really doesn't drive bad. It's got 123,000 miles. Pretty clean interior. I mean, it's a dog. It is not slow, but like, as a little daily commuter, oh my God, this thing's a freaking, this is a little nugget. It's super cheap. I bet it's really good on gas. Look at this little thing. We're just cruising. Don't know how I'm going to get in here. What's up, Jake? What up? Hey, Alex is back here hiding, working in a ambulance. There you go. There you go. You're a sneaky little guy. There he is. Say hi to everybody. Hello.
What up, man? Wait, we gotta hit him. We gotta hit him with it.
Oh, I hate you.
What?
This guy right here.
Huh? And where the other one?
Hey, stay out of my cheeks, man. You gotta pay extra.
It wouldn't be the first time to get in there.
And your other one's right up front.
No cap.
No, of course no cap.
Why are you capping, dude?
No cap, fool. No cap.
What are we looking at?
There's your problem right there. It's empty.
Yeah, I know, that's the point. No, I just put a new compressor in it.
Alright.
Hey, it's a little flip car. It belongs to a friend of mine. It's literally
5 kilograms.
It's got like 120,000 miles. Needed a valve cover gasket, an AC compressor, and an oil change and rotors. It was his first car. He decided he wanted to sell it. Get rid of it.
0.5.
All right, guys, we got her blowing icy. I just lasered the vent at 41.5 degrees, so she is blowing nice and cold in this hot. I mean, the ambient temperature right now has got to be like 96, 98 degrees. It is not cold outside. This is Florida, middle of summer. It is hot. So she's blowing nice and cold. Let's get back to the shop and let's get working on the Civic. All right, guys, I just got back to the shop. We're about to pop the hood and get these fuel lines made. Caleb is over here just chilling, doing some editing, doing his thing. I do have a conversion kit to convert my factory hard lines into -6 AN lines. So those will connect directly to the upgraded fuel rail. The fuel rail I'm running is a Jack Spania Racing. I know it's an eBay brand. The dude who makes this stuff is right over in Brandon, which is like 45 minutes away from me. So it's super sick. I mean, a fuel rail is a fuel rail is a fuel rail. It's all just aluminum CNC bits that are put together, and the AN fittings seem like they're really like decent quality. It's a really like budget-friendly option because I just spent a bunch of money on the engine. Kind of needed to get something a little cheaper. You know, I could have gone AM for like 340 bucks, or I could go the Jack Spania Racing with the full kit. I think it was like 220 or something, and that comes with the lines and all the fittings and conversion stuff. So that's the way I went with it. So what I've got here is just a Harbor Freight tube cutter. Super simple. This little guy opens and closes. You spin it around the line, it cuts it off. I'm gonna shorten the feed line to about here, and I'm gonna shorten the return just a little bit, and then once you shorten them, you have to flare them And once you flare them, you can connect your AN lines and fittings. Okay, how I'm actually going to do the conversion from hardline to AN is using one of these. This is a hardline to AN fitting, hardline to AN compression fitting, which means if I take this guy apart, where'd it go? Oh God, I dropped it. There will be this little guy inside. This is just a little compression ring. Pops inside here. This guy slides on. Bada bing, bada boom. Hard line goes in this way. Dash 6 AN comes out this way. So super easy to use. What you have to do is you have to cut off your hard line using like a tube cutter, which I've already done. I'll show you exactly what I did there. So we get down in here. This line here is my feed. I've already went ahead and cut it off. Take a little sandpaper and clean the exterior of the line. So now that I'm going to cut off the feed line or the return line, I'm going to leave the return line a little long. I'm going to tuck it up in the back behind the engine so it's seen. We'll put it back here. The return line is not as important to me as the feed line is. I'm going to go flex fuel, so I'm going to leave some extra AN line on it. And we're just going to have it tucked right up here. You need to go ahead and cut that fitting off. The factory fitting off. Brake booster out of the way. You see how it's just got this little compression fitting flare. We're going to go ahead and lock that off, and we're going to re-flare to the appropriate size to handle the interior of the inside diameter of the AN line. So just tighten that down, work it around to the length you want. This little tool is like $5 at your local Harbor Freight, and then the flaring kit I think was 13 bucks. It's so cheap that there's no reason not to do it. It makes dealing with your fuel lines and cleans up. It makes dealing with your fuel lines so much easier, and it makes your bay look so much cleaner to have all AN line fitting or AN lines and fittings. So just spin it around a couple times, tighten it down some more. Don't overdo it because you can end up crushing the line. Take your time. It's a moderately tedious task. Whenever you start cutting and it starts getting deep in there, you'll feel it start to loosen up, and then it'll just let go. Let me see if I can get my hands on it here. That's just a little piece we cut off. That can go away. All right, and now we have a fairly clean cut. I'm gonna take and clean this edge up with some sandpaper and then flare it. I figure what I'm gonna do is because I don't, is this rolling? Because I don't know the size that's gonna fit the inside of this AN line, like the flare that's gonna properly fit. I'm just gonna start small and work my way up in the sizes as we go, testing fitting in between each size, just to see exactly what we need. I don't wanna overdo it and then end up the line not fitting. Our first flare, super easy. I actually think that is going to be enough. Where'd it go? Okay. Oh, I'm dying. Don't get old, guys, it sucks. Now we've got that flared, we're just gonna take our fillets, put our hose clamp right over it. Tighten her down real nice and snug. Forget the Phillips, we're going to use this up. I want to be sure. All I'm gonna do now is take and tighten up the fitting on the feed line, and then we're gonna go ahead and connect the AN line fitting that we're gonna use to run up. I'm gonna do a fuel filter in between a small, let me see if I have it right here. Basically do a small inline filter in between the two.
You're gonna build AN lines, spend the money, and get a set of AN wrenches. Worth every penny. So you don't scratch all your AN lines to shit. Bada bing, bada boom. This guy comes up here, straight to the fuel rail. And then we have our return.
All right guys, so I did get the Kia taken care of. The AC is nice and cold on that. And then I turned around and got the fuel lines on the Civic pretty much buttoned up. We have our return here and our feed here. I'm gonna have the fuel pressure regulator drop off of the rail, get mounted to the firewall. That's pretty okay there. Just gonna figure that out once we get in it. We're gonna check for leaks when the engine goes in. But tomorrow, I think I'm gonna take the engine to Alex's shop. That's where we're gonna retime it and do the crank seals. And then she shall be ready to drop back in the car. So, with that being said, thank you all for watching and I will see you on the next one. Peace.